What's good, you guys? Welcome. So, this will be a brief reading. I'm gonna make it brief on purpose. But just as I was deciding not to do a reading, I felt like I grabbed hold of the point of whatever it was that I just went through. And in accepting that truth, the truth was that I got another download, and that download was like, oh yeah, I'll listen to that or I'll hear that. So let me see if I can get the download energy first, and then I'll just go ahead and pull the cards. It doesn't have to be, I've already worked through whatever happened with me. So I don't mind just tapping in collectively. I know I'll still benefit. It's no specifics. But let's see if I can catch the download. So it was basically like, there are some times in your life when there's something that you want to do or you feel like you need to do, and mostly it's society's viewpoint. It's not really your own personal truth, but you have a lot of people who may not even share that viewpoint, but because it's a societal norm, they're like using that with their pitchforks to try to see, are you going to comply, or do they have some grievance that they can put on you, or some, finally they get to have an issue with you. Okay, so you may have like people, gatekeepers really, that are looking for you to move in a way that is inauthentic, or in a way that they can judge. Okay, and that gives them a high. It makes them feel powerful or seen as better in your eyes, okay, and in their eyes too. And when they can't get that, they get angry, they get upset. Some of them turn into victims, and it's your fault. So basically, it's like an ego thing, and that's pretty much all people do on the ground. Um, I talk about God a lot, but I'm not like a Bible thumper or a Jesus freak. I mean, I'll get freaky for a reincarnate of Jesus Christ. I think it's the most sexiest thing in life, whether you're a female or a male, to have such a self-sacrificing spirit, or to be so filled with life and with love and with peace and with happiness and with joy that you can walk in any place and uplift it. You can be open and kind and vulnerable, and it is nothing to you. You just kind of know how to move, you know what to say. Even if you're a person of few words, those few words are like, people are literally tripping over themselves and falling at your feet to hear those few little words. Like, I admire, almost, I praise that kind of energy. Okay, so yeah, but I'm not like a Jesus freak. I'm not a Jesus freak. I'm not a Bible thumper. But I do believe that people who believe in God and don't mock God or what God is, I do believe that they are a better quality of human being. And the reason is because they live and thrive off of something that is unseen, like the air that we breathe. They literally fly through life. You'll notice those people, it seems like nothing really gets them down. They're able to get over hurdles, obstacles that may have like completely taken you out of there. They seem to be able to get out of it easily, no pain, nothing. So I kind of feel as if that is an issue. That's an issue. That people on the ground, they feed off of other people's misery. They feed off of, it's like you have to see something that is worse than what you're currently living to be appreciative for what you have and be appreciative for who you are. If there's no one less than you, then you don't feel better than yourself. If you don't have money, which fuels the underground world, then you feel like you are nothing. So I do kind of, I guess I pick sides. If I had to choose a side, I'd choose one over the other. But a lot of times You choose God's side, and it keeps you from kind of being or doing sometimes God's way, God's plan. It does not go according to what man's plan is for you. I was really trying to do this reading, but I feel like I'm talking more, just beating around the bush. But the easiest way is to just kind of tell you the story. So yesterday was Halloween, and I was raised not not celebrating any holidays, um, especially Halloween, but any holiday at all. But as I got older and left the Kingdom Hall and Jehovah's Witness organization, I would dress up just for fun. That's something I do like naturally in my regular life. But I will also um, decide to like do it because it was Halloween, just to kind of fit in, or like college, everybody's doing it. Everybody's going to the party. You're not going to wear a costume? Okay, sure. So you do it for fun. When I got married, I had a stepson, but he was not big on dressing up for Halloween, and his dad didn't really celebrate the holidays either, so it just wasn't a big thing at all. With my son, I just want him to experience the things that I think give him the opportunity to really dive into childhood and imagination. And my son is not one to put on a bunch of clothes for no reason. Like, we're either going somewhere, and as soon as I get home, I'm taking this off. So I know that he likes, he does like costumes a little bit. We tried them like randomly, and no big deal. But I figured, okay, I don't know if he's going to go to his dad's this weekend. I kind of was ready to get out the house, and I wanted to have some fun. So I, picked out, well, he picked out a costume. He wanted to be a police officer. I didn't know why. I was like, oh, great. Because you're already kind of acting like you're a grown human being, and I want you to get into your child energy, like your kid energy. But he wasn't interested. He wasn't interested. He was like being the boss of his life, and I was like, okay, that's fine, but we're gonna have a good time. So anyway, we got the costume, and it worked for a while, but we got it too early. We got it Wednesday. He played in it Wednesday. He played in it Thursday. By Friday, he was not interested, so he didn't want to put the costume on. We had a party to go to. We did make it out, but it just wasn't the situation that I thought it would be. It was because my son was really on God's time. God was saying, this is a regular day. Honestly, people may be out and be friendly or acting friendly, but everybody is tired. Everybody is going through something. Everybody is stressed out. These people are like vampires right now. They need the kind of energy that you have. You would likely be a lot more safe staying in the house or finding something to do that doesn't require you having to give your energy out to a bunch of people who are going to want it and need it from you, especially a bunch of strangers. But I didn't listen, because I was listening to all of the thought waves and opinions and patterns of humanity underground that would say, oh, you didn't get him a costume. I did get him a costume. Oh, you didn't take him out for trick-or-treating. I did take him for trick-or-treating. Oh, you didn't take him to a party. I did. I was listening to all of that, and I decided to serve that instead of serving my truth, serving my higher self, serving my God, serving my son, serving my son's higher self and my son's God. And I went against all of that, and I decided, well, maybe I just need to, I'm going to do this for his good. You're going to have a good time. Who said he wasn't having a fucking good time? He enjoys his life in the house just like me. But it's sometimes that I feel like, okay, it's been all week. Like, we've only popped out just a little bit here and there. No, and it's getting colder. It's not like we're going to the park every day and just staying out there for hours. It's like short-lived. So I'm like, no, we are going out. We are going to do something. We are going to have fun. And we are going to make this a thing because we have an excuse to. It's Halloween. Yeah, well, it was freaky, scary, fucking, what do you call that? Just like my chat. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but you're weird too. But it's like fucking Thriller. Dead. They're just the dead. The dead, the empty, the needy. It's like everybody we ran into, the kids were like, the people were like, oh my God, and oh my God, and I'm going through this, and oh my God, and yeah, oh wow, and you do, how do you, and they're bleeding and suffering, and it was a shit show, a fucking horror show, and I paid for it. I fucking paid for it. I feel like in some way I got paid for it, but I think that was just because that person intended. He was probably the main person that was beating down my door about it energetically. And so I feel like I got paid from him because I gave into it. But it wasn't enough. It's not enough. It's never enough to go against your own true desire for yourself and your life. It's not enough not to trust yourself. It's not enough to just trust your children. You know, it's nice to do selfless things for other people, but you might want to check in and see if that selfless quality is something that they actually want you to do. So, yeah. Making sacrifices, it's a great thing when you do it for the things that you truly care about and you do it for the people that you truly want to. And I only had one of those things right. I was doing it for the person that I truly wanted to, my son, but I was not doing it for a reason that I truly wanted to. I wasn't even doing it for a reason that he truly wanted to. And it was a shit show. So just don't do that, you know? You really have to, like, just fuck people. Fuck people and seek God. That's what I want to say. Every time they get to acting weird, then you need to go and find God. And first that starts with finding ourselves. That's why I said it was like a whole situation. Because I was in God's protection, wasn't dealing with none of that, couldn't see any of it. We were perfectly fine. But I broke that union with God. And God does not go with you when you decide to go down to the ground and serve people. He doesn't go with you. He just waits for you to come back when you realize it wasn't worth it. It's never gonna be worth it. You have to move in the way that your God is moving you because your God and your higher self are entwined. That spirit is one. To not listen to yourself is to not listen to God. To not listen to God is to not listen to yourself, your higher self. But anyway, I feel like I just be talking for the hell of it, but I'm talking for me too, so I don't give a fuck right now. I don't give a fuck who it helps or doesn't help. Living in the shadows, stealth mode, energy vamp, mask, and cloaking. Yeah, that's how they work. They run from light, clarity, and truth. So somebody lives in the shadows, meaning that they don't really believe in a higher self. They don't believe, I mean, they probably know that they could do better than they're doing currently, but they have no desire to. And they choose not to believe in any kind of authority or higher being or higher sense of self that would be able to judge harshly what they're choosing to do or how they're choosing to be. So that's likely someone who definitely knows that they are below the bar, even that they've set for themselves. And that they are literally not trying or working hard to pursue the things that would make them feel godly, good about themselves, high confidence. That's really, what it is. Light, clarity, truth. So whatever they're doing, they don't want to be seen. They don't like that. Confident, yeah, okay, confident. Too busy focusing on self to see them or vice versa. I feel like that's where you were. God put you in a place where maybe people would judge you as arrogant, but really it's just confidence. What you saw and what you knew is that they were in a space that you were not, and that it's not a space you wanted to be in. And you could have stayed right where you are, but something pulled you, called you, triggered you to do something to pretty much be in service of them and what their needs were, what they would need to see to pretty much approve you. You don't need people's approval. These people who want, like they think that you should get their approval, they're the very ones who never approve you. They never intend to, because they don't feel approved by you naturally. Just you being who you are makes them feel less than themselves. Unable to face the truth and finding authentic self. Okay, so you could not face that truth. You could not face that truth that someone is beneath you. And I mean that in the way that they carry themselves, their self confidence, what they would need from you in order to feel good about themselves. Like, you could not accept that truth. I feel like you're the person that ran from that truth. So you had to fall face down on the ground and realize yet again it's not worth it. They want you to see them. They want you to prove something to them. They want you to show up for them. They think that they have some kind of hold over you. They have nothing. They have nothing. They have no hold over you that you don't give them. You don't give a fuck about what they think. They are not as important as they want to be. That's their own shit show. It's not yours. But the moment that you take it into your own hands and you bend to their will, or you try to serve them, or you try to pretty much alleviate whatever you think that they could possibly, that's fear. So you were listening to fear. And I feel like maybe that all happened for a reason, so that you could face it and replace it with the truth so that you never do it again. Yeah, finding your authentic self. So whoever that person is, that's somebody that you had lost yourself before you even connected with them. You bonded in a situation that you were not your truth. And when you became your truth, when you woke up out of whatever sleep you were in, they could not deal with the confidence, the power, the magnitude, the sovereignty that you hold. The light was blinding. And whoever this person is, they have sought to kill it, to block it out, to blight it, to confuse you about it, to steal it from you, whatever they can do. Because that person is just like you. They can't face the truth. You can't face the truth that they literally, you don't know where you were mentally, emotionally, physically. You were not of sound mind. You were not in the right place at the right time. And you bumped into somebody else who was not of the right mind, not in the right heart space, not in the right physical place. They were lost too. You found yourself, and I feel like this person found themselves, but the difference between you made this person feel crippled, or they made them feel worse. Runs from light, clarity, and truth. You would have to be the total opposite. You would have to be a walking, living lie. You would have to be the author of confusion, and you would have to be darkness. So you oftentimes shine like a godly being, and this person oftentimes resembles a devil to you, a demon, the worst. And you represent the best in their life, okay? So you can't face your truth, they can't face their truth, and that's where you guys unite. But you had to find your authentic self, and once you do, it is good night for whoever that individual is, because they're going to either face the truth, heal, and deal with the things just like you did. But I feel like for you, you could land on your face and literally flip over and jump up on your feet before you don't have to go to sleep. It take you minutes, hours, and you're right back, stronger, faster. These cycles that you go through in life, these transformation processes, this death and rebirth, is nothing for you. But for these other people, a lot of times it puts them under the earth. They're already chained to the ground. Demons, taught to keep their head down, taught to hide in the shadows, taught that their truth won't ever be accepted. A lot of times their truth has been stolen from them. They don't even know who they are. They have no clarity. They're living in confusion, and confusion feels regular. It feels safe because all of their deficiencies are hidden. You don't want to hide your deficiencies. You're used to God lighting them the fuck up so you can see what to heal, what to fix, how to get better. Anyway, I don't think anything went wrong. I think that you just chose to step off of your divine timeline, which is your right. You chose to walk it. like you talk it, which is to do exactly what you want to do, regardless of what life is showing you or what God is telling you. You are somewhere in between. You're on your feet. That does make a devil out of you, but a devil is a fallen angel. It's just an angel that decided, hey, God, I don't want to do it your way. I want to do it my way. And God's like, okay, well, get the fuck out of my house and go do it. So, devil. But these people are demons. They live for the devils that rule this world. They don't know it, but they're feeding off of everything that is the spirit of this world. It's just people, devils, people who have chosen to do things their own way, and they have power because they are still tapped in, tuned in to their higher selves, and they're able to yield this kind of control, mind control, over multitudes, millions, billions. Okay, you're out of that. So out of the matrix, consciously aware of self and consciously aware of everybody else. So you found yourself. This person can find themselves too, but I'm not here to do a reading for them. I really just don't care anymore. Using flattery to cover up a deception. That's probably how you got paid. Like I said, if this was a person that continuously is like beating on your door energetically, always trying to project their issues and their fears and their worries and their cares and care about me and look at me and fear me and whatever the fuck they're doing. Fear mongering is what they're doing outside of your pearly gates. They're likely the reason that you jumped down because you could. And this person was pretty much tempting you and you fell for the temptation. But it's never going to have the hold over you that this person is used to probably being able to have, or that they thought they would have. And that's because you have no trouble now facing and owning up to your truth. You aren't confused, and this person is the author of confusion, so that's what they would do to you. They would get you confused about who you are and about who they are, and you would fall into that trap. You would fall into that trap, but now you don't fall into it, not long enough for them to get any kind of, like, they can't get this ride that they usually get off of you, this rise that they usually get off of you, or this high that they get off of your fall. They could not get it. You weren't even down there long enough for them to. But this is definitely someone that uses flattery first. But they're looking for you to fall because they know the truth about you. They know the truth about you. They know that there are times when you don't want to believe either. And they can get you to not believe. And when you don't believe, you don't receive the protection of what you do believe in. Play that back. Your confidence. Stuck and confused, looking for something. They don't understand. You're still confident. You still know what you know. And they don't understand why. They don't understand how. They're looking for anything to grasp this confidence that you have, to grasp this certainty that you have. I feel like they would literally steal it, rip it right out of your fucking bleeding hands if they could. The thing is, they're so focused on you that they don't see themselves. They don't see themselves. This is why they're not healing. But that is a reflection for you to know that that's how you got into that situation in the first place. They got your attention. And the more focus you gave to them, the less you were seeing your power, the more you were seeing what they were doing and the power that they wanted you to think they had. So it looked like you bought into it, that they are powerful, that they are scary, that you're not who you think you are, and you don't have the protection that you think you do. They thought that they got you, but that's never going to be your truth because you do accept who you are. So that's never going to be your truth. But this is what they were expecting, and this is what they were thinking, and that's the trap that you fell into. So I think whoever you were giving your attention to, when they want it the most, and usually, like I said, it's going to happen in a way that you can't see. It's the energy. It keeps calling out to you. Why? Don't give your attention to things that don't sound good to you. Don't give your attention to things that are living in the shadows, things that will not show their face. If it's not in your face, if they're not in your reality, if they're not showing up with the energy, it's not your concern. We literally collectively are rising to these heights of consciousness where the things that we heard of and the things in the movies are real. And we can become aware of them. It's called sixth sense. What's the password? I see dead people. Yeah. Because they're out of their bodies. Their minions, their shells are moving and operating on the karmic timeline, but their souls are lost. They're all over the place. They're flying around like ghosts. So unless that ghost is inside of the body, why the fuck are you dealing with it? Reacting to it, giving your attention to it. You have to ignore it. You have to ignore it. Don't go crazy. Know what you know, see what you see, come to YouTube, go to church, whatever you need to grasp hold of what it is that you are becoming aware of, because it's a very real thing. But don't react to it, because that's what it's trying to get you to do. Make a move that takes you out of the protection that you're in so that they can grab hold again. All right, so we're not going to play games with demons. See, when you're like the devil, they're actually afraid of you, and you get a rise off of that. But you know what that is? That's what humans do. Don't get too human. Good morning, baby.
Can I help?
Yes, I got you. Here. Throw this in the garbage.
Oh, watch.
They in the shadows. Let them stay in the shadows. You can see them just fine. Just keep the lights on. Just keep the lights on. Or you can turn the lights down low. But I would not let this person in. If they actualize physically, then yeah, you need to give your attention to it. But just keep the lights on, and there's nothing that they can do outside of that light. But when you decide, oh yeah, well, okay, I'm gonna use flattery too. Ha ha ha! I can play laugh like you. No, that's not what you do. That's not who you are. You're authentic. You're real. These people are faking the funk. You don't want to drop down to their level. You want to stay where you are and see who's going to rise to the occasion and meet you. It does get lonely up there because there's not a lot of people who have like literally done the hard work. Whoever you are, you know, I be talking and a lot of people, it don't matter. I don't have to explain you to them, but let me explain you to you. You think you need to humble yourself and bring yourself down because these people, you feel like, well, I understand where you are. And if I could just tell you what to do and you would believe it and not think that I was being arrogant, then I would. Likely you've already done that. The whole reason that you're being seen as this spectacle is because you have bumped your head so many times. You have done it the wrong way so many times. You have hit your head and learned those lessons. The difference between you and them is that you apply the knowledge and you are now wise. Wise in a way that you can't go to sleep to. You just can't go back to doing the things that they do. When you look at them and when they're crying and they're bleeding out with all of their issues and I don't know why this is happening. Oh my God. And you literally, for you, it's just like common sense. You've heard the same stories from them year after year after year with the same people, with the same dynamics, with the same situations, and you cannot talk enough. You can't say enough to wake them the fuck up. But it does not mean that you don't get to be who the fuck you are. If you want to play their game, then I suggest you pretend you can't see who the fuck they are, just like they pretend they can't see who the fuck you are, but you better goddamn well be it. Because if you don't stay in your body and be who the fuck you are, somebody else will come in and do it for you. and they're going to benefit, and you're going to be on the ground.
It pop.
Yes, and no, that ain't going to be no damn pop. I'm woke. Let me finish this reading. I'm about to be finished in a second. I already let you slide with some more Halloween candy because I'm about to have a piece when I get off of here. However, no, we ain't doing no pop. We about to do breakfast. Get out of here. All right, last card. Child, he like, oh, shoot, mama ain't paying attention. Let me see what I get right quick. I'm paying attention. God damn it. These babies will show you how these people... These babies will show you they're the closest to God, but you know, they got that other side in them too. Our little duplicitous beings. And they will show you what these people are doing, trying to get in any way they can. Look, we have privileged lady, male or female, doesn't matter who you are. You're prosperous. You are protected. And you have confidence. And you should. You take pride in who you are and what you do, and you should continue to. That means you're, wow, privileged lady and a pretty pampered princess. This may be for a female dominantly, but even if it's a male, it's your feminine energy. You're very intelligent emotionally, and that's actually a quality that a lot of men do not embrace or haven't even developed yet. So it's coveted. And if you're a female, then you really embody your femininity, and the way that you do and the way that your life is set up, people want that from you. Anyway, the connection that you have that keeps you protected from all of this, you need to stay committed to that. Okay, it says determined, moving forward, committed and loyal. That connection will stand the test of time. I'm going to leave the reading here. Like I said, my son think he about to get some pop for breakfast because he thought I wasn't paying attention. So I'm off of here. But I will see you guys in the next live. Bye.